I believe one of the most meaningful parts of the trip for me was when just the kids just ran up to hug me. That was just made my heart melt.
This when we prayed over all of the women in the compassion staff and at the church. They were all just like weeping and crying because they were so grateful for what we were doing and the partnership that we were making with them.
The most impactful part of this trip was as being the photographer for this trip, I was given the honor and privilege to experience all the joy that everybody on the team was having with their sponsored kids and the other kids at the site.
For me, the most impactful moment was when I met my little sponsored girl, Kiera. It was kind of a little bit of a surprise when I met her. They said she was over in the corner, so I walked over and there she was with a smile on her face from ear to ear and her eyes as big as you could imagine. She ran at me as fast as she could with open arms and couldn't stop kissing and holding my hand. So it was just absolutely amazing.
I think the most impactful thing for me personally was just seeing the beauty of God's work everywhere here. Traveling to another country and just seeing people worshiping and praising the Lord here, just like we do at home.
When we had the church service on Sunday and the first worship song that we sang was just Hallelujah, to a tune that I knew from America. And there's been a language barrier all week, but on that day there was no language barrier, as everybody from Peru and everyone from America, we all just sang in harmony together and sang this worship song, and it was probably one of the most powerful moments that I experienced here.
It's amazing how much compassion does for everybody down here. Again, we all give a little bit and compassion does a lot, so that's awesome.
One of the most impactful moments for me, at least, was seeing like all the stray dogs and like children just roaming through trash looking for things to eat. That just, I don't know, that hit me hard.
The moment that impacted me the most, I would say, was I went into this trip with my prayer being that God would break my heart for what breaks his, and I had a moment when we were walking to the different home visits where I saw a little boy, probably the age of one of my kids, sorting through the garbage that was in the middle of the street, trying to find food. And he looked up and his face had snot running down his face and he was dirty, and he just looked up at me, and he looked similar in age to my own sponsored child, and I thought, I actually am seeing what poverty looks like here and what it could look like for my kid, but also seeing the hope and what compassion and what the Lord is just doing in her life, and seeing that she's going to hopefully have a different track and be able to somehow come out of that poverty through the help that we're doing and what Compassion's doing and the staff is doing. And
the biggest takeaway that I have is just how powerful compassion is, and that you're not just helping your child. There are so many circles of influence that are being created and changed in the families and in the communities surrounding.
The most meaningful thing for me on this trip was that we went to Santa Rosa and we actually got to see the little children that our church is sponsoring. And then when we went to the mother site, we actually got to see what is happening in the lives of the older kids, so we get to see what the children that we're sponsoring are going to look like in just a few years, and there was such a huge difference.
But actually I think that the most impactful time that I had was when we were sitting with the teenagers and they were talking about their dreams, and they were so just so open and sharing and confident, and that's also one of the things that led to the most meaningful experience, I think, for me here, and is just feeling the hope that they had. And then I also felt more confident for the children that we're helping in Santa Rosa, because the program that Compassion has is really designed to help them grow in all areas of their life and to help their families as well as the children.